okay? Hello, Jorge. Hello, Lucia. Are there only two of you? Hello, Inés. Okay. Hello, Jorge. Are you okay in your family, Jorge? Are you okay? All of you? Jorge? Are you okay? In your family? Hello? Hello, Pablo. Hello, Eva. Hello, Eneko. Okay, very good, very good, very good, very good. Happy to hear that. Now, please go to your exercise part. Okay, exercise note, exercise part, page number 2. We're going to do the review of this exercise. This is an exercise about the Industrial Revolution. Okay, can you see it there? This is the exercise, and very good. We're going to start it. So you have here. This is a kind of exercise about reading. Okay, about reading. I don't know if you are going to sit an exam on English at the end of this course, but there are many exercises that are the same. Okay, you have here you have a text, and then you have to choose between these choices. Okay, so we're going to do it, and we're going to read it. Now, in our first sentence, you see, the Industrial Revolution began in number 1, in the number 2, and had a profound impact on the world. And we had to choose the correct answer. I like you not to put the letter, but to put the word. So the Industrial Revolution began in, and you have to choose between France. Don't put A. You have to put France if you think, Britain or Spain. Can anybody remember the place where the Industrial Revolution took place? Can anybody remember the name of the country where the Industrial Revolution took place? Anybody? Can anybody? Ines thinks that Britain, but I don't know. Maybe in France? Talking about a revolution. If we talk about a revolution, could be France. No, France, impossible. France, impossible. France was the place where the French Revolution took place. But the Industrial Revolution was in Britain. Okay, in Britain was the first country, not in Spain. Spain was a very backwards, atrasado, a very backwards country. Okay, by the time. This is a pity, but this is how things were. Now, so this revolution began in Britain and now we have to choose between A or B or C. Okay, and you got to name the the years, the century. Okay, this is 19th century. Attention, this is 18th century, and this is 20th century. What do you think? Don't put letter. Sarah, you have to put the numbers. I know this is a little bit difficult, but it's important. You're wrong. Lucia, you are wrong. Remember, the French Revolution took place in the 18th century, but before the Industrial Revolution had taken place in Britain. Before. Lucia, you're wrong. Please don't put letter. You have to put the numbers. Don't put letter. You have to put the numbers. This is important. So the correct answer is in this case B. So in the 18th century, we can say that. Okay, in the 18th century. Okay, Ines, this is the correct answer. Very good. Now we can continue. One of the main impacts it had was how it changed life for, and number 3, we need an adjective. We don't know, we are talking about working class people, students, or nobility. So, why was Industrial Revolution important? Okay, for whom? For working class people, for the students, or for the nobility? Talking about number 3. Here, number 3. So, we need to choose between working class people, or students, or nobility. Don't write just letter. You have to write the word, please. Thank you, Miguel. Yes, you're right. For working class people. For working class people. The French Revolution was important for everybody, but the Industrial Revolution was mainly important for working class people, because you have to think that before people were forced to work in the countryside, okay, in agriculture, okay, or with cattle, in agriculture or with cattle. But with the Industrial Revolution, people started going to big cities, okay, looking for a job in a company, okay, in a factory. So this is the beginning of the working class. Very good. Now let's continue. First, the workers were supposed to, and you need here, I need here a word, okay, an adjective, and you have to choose between happy working conditions, moderate working conditions, or horrendous working conditions. Happy is positive, moderate is neutral, horrendous is negative. What do you think is the correct answer? Yes, you're right. Horrendous. Okay. Okay. Check, Pablo. Check your spelling, Pablo. Okay. Horrendous, because people have to work very hard. Okay. In around many hours, and not only men, but men, women, children your age. Okay. So number 4, the correct answer is horrendous. Let's continue. Working conditions in factories and mines. These factories and mines were, and you need another adjective to accompany places to work in. So these factories and mines were, you have to choose between nice places to work, dangerous places to work, joyful places to work. Joyful means, in Spanish, alegres, divertidos. Nice, bonitos, chulos. Dangerous, peligrosos. Dangerous, okay? Very good, dangerous. So, number 5 is dangerous. And we continue. The working conditions included long hours off, and now you have to go for number 6, okay? This is a noun. Rest, descanso, holidays, vacaciones, work, trabajo. The working conditions include long hours off, number 6, muchas horas de descanso, muchas horas de vacaciones, o muchas horas de trabajo. What do you think? Work, okay. And now take a look here. The next sentence. 12 to 16-hour shifts. In Spanish, it means los turnos de trabajo diario iban desde las 12 horas a las 16 horas. So can you think people working all days from 12 to 16 hours? These were the working conditions there. Okay, terrible. No time to even to sleep. Even to sleep. Terrible. Terrible. Okay, this is number 6. Go to number 7. In number 7 you have wages. Remember that this word means in Spanish salarios. So we're talking here about an adjective that accompanies wages, talking about los salarios que percibían aquellos trabajadores. So these wages that barely cover the cost of living. So number 7, you have to choose between low or decent or high. So low is negative, high is positive, decent is neutral. So what do you think? What do you think? Inés, very good. Inés, very good. Miguel, very good. Low salaries, low wages. Very good. Let's continue. So number conditions, very good. So the next issue, el siguiente tema, the next issue that working people had to face were the horrible living conditions in industrial towns and cities. For example, Madrid was one of these places, Barcelona another of these places later in the middle of the 19th century. Okay, horrible living conditions. Okay, because of that, there were many people such as, for example, Arturo Soria in Madrid and many other people in other places that took care for the working class, for the workers, and they said we need to build a city that is friendly with workers. Okay, and that's because they could live in horrible living conditions in industrial towns and cities. The living conditions in the cities and towns were, and you need to choose one word. Okay, you have to choose between miserable, healthy, or reasonable. Miserable is negative, healthy is positive, reasonable is neutral. What do you think? What do you think is the correct the correct adjective for the conditions in which the cities and towns were for the working class? What do you think? Miserable. Ines, you have a question. Okay, you can put your question. Miserable. Okay, no matter if I continue to explain. Write your question. Write your question. It's and characterized by, we have 9. 9 is sufficient room, clean air, or overcrowding. Sufficient room means espacio suficiente. This is positive. Clean air, aire limpio, positive. Overcrowding is many people that are in the same place at the same time. A lot of people in the same place in the same time. What do you think? What do you think? Talking about number 9. Overcrowding, clean air, or sufficient room. Think of the families there. Okay? What do you think? Their homes were overcrowding, yes. So, in a very little space, you could find the father, the mother, many children, maybe grandfathers, okay, grandparents. So, yes, Ines, I'm reading you. If the conditions were that bad, why? You think why? Because the person that the owner of the factory wanted to earn as much money as it was possible. And the way to do that was to pay very little to the workers. Okay? You understand? You understand? Okay? Very good, very good. This is the reason. Thank you, Ines. Thank you, Ines. So, we continue. We're finishing this part. So, number 9 is overcrowding. Poor sanitation means that in those homes there were little air. Okay, little clean air. No, no heating. No heating. Very little space. Okay, so poor sanitation. Spread of, and number 10, spread of diseases, enfermedades, culture, and information. What do you think were the living conditions in this society? Okay, many diseases, a good culture for workers, or pretty information. What do you think? What do you think? Diseases. Ines says, but why did people accept working there? Because they had to. They couldn't go back to the countryside. And they had to comply with this situation. And this situation was so bad that finally there were many associations of workers associations. In Spanish we call them sindicatos, okay, trade unions, and they start forming trade unions, and they start fighting for better living conditions. And this is the point in which you need to understand very well, because this is crucial in the development of this age, okay, in the contemporary age. In the contemporary age, we have trade unions, we have sindicatos, we have political parties that look for workers better living conditions, okay, because at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, the living conditions were so bad for working people. And you're right. So number 10 is diseases. And now please go to the exercise number 3. Exercise number 3. I want just keywords, only keywords. So pay attention here. Can you see? Okay, very good. So attention. What were the defining aspects of the new society in Spain in the 19th century? Defining aspects. What do you think? To answer correctly, you need to go to the text part. You need to go to the text part. Okay? And the defining aspects were, attention, in the Spain society. So, many political movements. This is one defining aspect, because they want freedom, okay, not only because of the Industrial Revolution, but also because they knew about the French Revolution, okay, and defining aspects is this. And in Spain it began a turn between democratic and liberal movements, okay. These were the defining aspects, okay. This is one of them. The other one is that in Spain, a new society was born. Okay? The former society was based in the Middle Ages, but now we have capitalism. This is another key word, capitalism, okay. And in many places there were, in some places, not many, in some places such as Catalonia, Basque Country and Madrid, there were some industries. This is a map of the time. In Catalonia, in Madrid, in the Basque Country, there were some industries. But in the rest of Spain, the people there lived almost in the Middle Ages. So this is the correct answer. Okay, very good, very good. Now let's go to our exercise. Now, very easy. Now, list the names of the most industrialized areas in Spain. Most industrialized areas in Spain. So, attention. Working, waiting. So, 3.2. You have to know the names of the most industrialized areas in Spain. One of them is... Can you tell the names of the most industrialized areas in Spain? One of them is very easy. One of them is very easy. One of them is Madrid, very good. Another one is Catalonia, and the other is the Basque Country. Yes, these were the most industrialized areas in Spain. It's pretty the same as today. This is important. We have many problems today in Spain, and many of them were problems that we had in the 19th century. That's why it's so important to know about history. Very good, very good. Let's move to the next question, 3.3. Illiterate farmers and workers. What does this expression mean? Illiterate farmers and workers. What happened with farmers, people who work in the countryside, and what happened with workers that were illiterate? What does it mean? What does it mean? What does the expression illiterate farmers and workers mean? Anybody? Anybody? The key word is illiterate. Illiterate means, are you attentive? Which is the meaning that they didn't know how to write, no read. Yes, yes. So most farmers and workers were illiterate. They didn't know how to write, how to read. Okay, so they couldn't read the papers, the newspapers. Okay, it was very easy for the owners of the industries to cheat them, to trick them. So those were the working conditions there. And attention, what does this expression mean? What is an industrial bourgeois? Bourgeois, this is a French word. In Spanish, burguesía, well-to-do people, people with money. Okay, okay. Many of them didn't have to work to make a living. So, what is an industrial bourgeois? Yes, Ines, the new class of factory owners. Yes, yes. So, back at those times, if you owned a factory, you could live because there were many people that were working for you. Okay, and you have a lot of money, and you were part of the bourgeoisie, de la burguesía. Okay, so bourgeoisie is one thing opposed to working class. Very good, very good. And 3.5. What is proletariat class? Very good, Samuel Pretus. Very good. The owners of the factory. This is the industrial bourgeoisie. Okay. Now we are in the last question. 3.5. What is proletariat class? What is proletariat? This is a Russian word. Proletariat. It's very common. Proletariat in Spanish is pretty the same. Proletariado. And el proletariado is a synonym with the working class. Okay, the working class. Proletariado is a synonym for the working class. Okay. Now please go to the next exercise. Okay. I trust you did your reading, your text part, and now I like you to center on this exercise. So number four, talking about 4.1. When the 19th century began, Spain was an ally of. An ally means in Spanish un aliado. Un aliado. An ally of. Un aliado es un amigo. So Spain, imagine Spain is a person that was friend with, what do you think, with Russia, with France, with the United Kingdom, or Portugal? What do you think? In the early 19th century, Spain was an ally of, yes, you're right, of France, okay? Spain was friends with France, okay? Why? Because the monarchy in Spain and the monarchy in France were the same dynasty, okay? Good, so the correct answer is France. Very good, this is the correct answer. Now let's go to the next question. So Napoleon Bonaparte tried to extend France's influence in Europe and the ideas of freedom and equality by using. So that's true. So Napoleon Bonaparte wanted to make France greater and greater. Okay, and he also wanted to extend the ideas of freedom and equality of the French Revolution. But he wanted to do it by using what? By using the education, okay, building more schools, by using the reason, trying to persuade people, by using the power of science, maybe building laboratories, or by using the violence. Which is the correct answer, according to you? The violence. You're right. The violence. Okay? This is a contradiction. Because he wanted people to be free, and he was genuine, he was serious about that, and he considered that some countries, for example Spain, was a very backward country, okay? Too much power for the church, too much power for the nobility, and he wanted to extend these ideas in Spain as well. But he wanted to do it by the use of the violence, and this is a contradiction. Very good. So go to the next question. So 4.3. With the signature of the Treaty of Fontainebleau, Napoleon. Now remember, the Treaty of Fontainebleau is the treaty by which France and Spain, the Prime Minister Manuel Godoy, made an agreement about allowing the French troops to go over Spain to Portugal. And with this treaty, Napoleon tricked Spain. Okay, tricked Spain. Very good. Napoleon tricked Spain. Okay, very good. So number 4. This is interesting. How many abdications to the throne of Spain were there in 1808? In 1808. How many? This is not an easy question. Look at me. First, the king was Charles. Okay, Charles had the crown, and then when the French troops cross over Spain, okay, people start revolting, and as a result, Charles gave the crown to his son Ferdinand. So first abdication. Then, when Ferdinand was the king. Napoleon invaded Spain, and Napoleon forced Ferdinand to give back the crown to his father. So Ferdinand took the crown and said, okay, so this crown is yours, you have your crown again. Second abdication. And then Napoleon forced King Charles to abdicate on Napoleon's brother Joseph. So finally, the King of Spain said, okay, you're right, Napoleon, you're the more powerful person in Europe, so you have my crown, the crown of Spain, for you. Okay? So all in all, how many abdications? Not 2, but 3. Okay? But 3 abdications. This is the correct answer. Very good, very good, very good. Now go to the next exercise now. So number 4-5. Who was the king of Spain when Napoleon invaded Spain in 1808? Who was the king of Spain when Napoleon invaded Spain on this year? You remember the name of the king of Spain when Napoleon invaded Spain in 1808. Yes. Charles IV. In English you had to put, as in Spanish, Charles IV in Roman capitals, okay, in Roman numerals. So Charles IV. Why not Manuel Godoy? Because Manuel Godoy was the name of the Prime Minister. The Spanish Prime Minister was Manuel Godoy. Not Ferdinand VII, because Ferdinand VII was the prince, not the king. And Joseph Bonaparte is the name of Napoleon's brother, the one who became king of Spain. Okay. Good. Go to the next question. What is the exact date of the popular levantamiento uprising in Spain against Napoleon? Can anybody tell me what is the exact date of the popular uprising in Spain against Napoleon? Attention, in English, not in Spain, in English, you have to write the name of the days and name of the months with capital. With capital. You don't do that, you have a misspelling. Capital May with capital M. May with capital M. Remember, in English this is very important. No to April. No to April. No Pablo. No Pablo. So, the correct answer is 2nd May, the 2nd May 1808. Okay? And this is 2nd May. This is the date of the popular celebration in the autonomous community of Madrid. 2nd of May. Very good, very good. Let's go to the next. Let's go to the. Okay. Thank you, Miguel. Go to the next question. So, the Spanish War of Independence began in. Where did it begin? In Barcelona, in Madrid, in Bilbao, in Cádiz. Where? Madrid. Okay? Madrid was most important city. The most important city. Not only because it was the capital, but because everything that happened in Spain normally happened in Madrid. And pretty the same can be said now. Can you see here this image here? Can you see here this image? Can you see it? Here? I want to enlarge it. Can you see this image here? These are people that are fighting, okay? These people are fighting. They are revolting. They are ordinary people, normal people, okay? They took weapons to fight against the French, okay? Because they thought they were humiliated, humillados, humiliated, okay? They couldn't think of Napoleon ruling Spain, okay? People were proud of their country and they fought against Napoleon. And finally, the last question, eventually, Spain won the War of Independence after how many years of violent struggle? How many years? How many years? Violent struggle means war. How many years did the War of Independence last? How many years? No, Miguel, you're wrong. No, Pablo, you're wrong. Longer. Yes, 6 years. Can you imagine 6 years in a war? The war was happened in Spain. Terrible, terrible. Okay, very good, very good. So this is the end of this class. I thank you for your attention. Please, you got to do your exercises, and see you tomorrow. So, bye bye.